Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek and welcome back to my channel. So today I have with me Raveendra Datla, who is Recruitment Head of Smart IMS. As you all know, yesterday I posted on the community tab. If you have any questions to the recruitment head, you can post that in the comment section and the top comments will be picked up, and we have lot of interesting questions related to ATS, recruitment, current situation. So I'll ask all those questions to Raveendra Datla. Before we start, Datla, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Abhi. Good evening, all. Good morning, and hello, all. So this is a very interesting topic. Which, when Abhi was talking to me about this recruitment, I am fascinated towards recruitment, and then I carry around 18 years of experience in this recruitment industry. I worked for multiple companies, very large organizations like Hitachi and DST, Computer Associates, which is Broadcom now, and then worked for a China-based company called Pactera, and now I'm working with a company called SmartMS. We are, a close to a 30-year-old company, and now I am heading recruitment for this organization, and I manage recruitment for India and APAC, which comprises of Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, Australia. So, I'm definitely looking forward to hear a lot of nice questions from Abhi. So, first of all, Abhi, thank you very much for having me here, and I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say, Ravindra, is you know it is very easy to learn technology these days. You have a lot of sources where you can learn these things. But for freshers as well as people who are trying to switch to the IT stream, it's very difficult
Yeah.
to have guidance on these particular aspects. So I
True.
highly appreciate for taking time out and joining us today. Now let's start with
Yeah.
the discussion. I have bunch of interesting questions for you. The
I'm
first
looking
thing,
forward, Abhi.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing is people want to understand what exactly is this ATS. You know, from last couple of years, this might be there for a long time now, but at least I'm hearing this from a last couple of years where people are talking about ATS friendly resumes, ATS everywhere. So in
Yeah.
your words, can you explain ATS to a layman?
Sure. Sure. So, Abhi, as you rightly pointed out, the ATS has been in this industry for very long time. It's been close to 12, 13 years where this ATS is there. And while the entire world is moving towards automation, right? This is another automation of the process of recruitment. ATS is nothing but the full form of ATS is application tracking system. Uh, well, if you understand the previous way how the recruiting style used to be, people used to source profiles, maintain the database, keep all the profiles in their own desktop or laptop, and then always use them for multiple requirements, right? Over a period of time, what happens is you will have a bunch of resumes for multiple skill sets, right? It could be Java, .NET, DevOps, testing, a lot of resumes. So what happens is over a period of time, they will not be able to manage this particular resumes properly whenever there are new requirements coming in. That is when this ATS has changed the way the recruiting has to be done. And in terms of managing the resumes, this particular application tracking system product has come to the market. So basically, what it does is it takes care of entire process of recruitment, starting
Okay.
from creating the requisitions and then posting the jobs in the external market, internal referrals, and
Okay.
putting in the careers. So this is how the particular requisition will go to the market. And
Okay.
then it is just like a Naukri portal where people will apply, where they will have a job ID, and then they can apply that particular job for an organization. Whenever a candidate applies for a job, that will go and sit in that ATS, and then
Okay.
from there the recruitment will take care of the entire process. The
Okay.
beauty of application tracking system is the product or the resumes can be managed very well. It can be reused,
Okay.
it can be reworked on multiple requirements. Example, today I posted my resume for a job opportunity for Java, and this particular position would have been closed, but I can reuse the same resume after 2 months or 3 months if I get another
Got it.
Java requirement.
Got
That
it.
way, the organization can maintain a lot of database of the resumes and always reuse these particular resumes. So this is the beauty
Okay.
of application tracking system. And the most common ATS tools you see in the market are Workday, Taleo. In fact,
Okay.
off late, there is a lot of innovation happening beyond the regular application tracking system. They are even integrating AI,
Yeah, we'll
artificial
come to it.
intelligence. Yeah, so these are all factors are getting into ATS, and then this is going to be more exciting for the applicants who are applying for the jobs for multiple organizations.
Yeah, I'm about to come to the AI point later in the video.
Sure,
But
sure.
so the definition is application tracking system, but what you mean to say is now it can manage the end-to-end life cycle of a candidate, right?
That's right. That's right.
So can
Till the
I assume?
candidate is offered,
Okay.
this
Okay.
particular application tracking system can be managed. And
Okay.
from the offer process, now every company is actually trying to automate the entire HR process also.
Hmm.
Then there's a new tool which will come in, which will take care of hire to retire. Post hire, you get a lot of processes, right? That will be taken
Yes.
care by HR tool.
HR tool. Okay. So ATS is right from where candidate applies to the
Yes.
offer letter released to the candidate.
Not
Everything.
just candidate applies, the before part is also taken care by ATS. That is creating the requisition. The hiring manager creating a requisition will also happen from the ATS. So it's
Got it.
like two-way.
Got
There
it.
will be there will be a role for the hiring manager. There will be a role for the candidate, hiring manager,
Got it.
and then recruiters are the mediators for these two people.
Makes
And this
sense.
particular process will be taken care by application tracking system.
So let's make it very simple. Let's say
Sure.
I am one of the team leads who is working for Smart IMS, let's say, and
Yes.
I would reach out to one of your team members and say that, hey, I have a position open for DevOps engineer, and probably your team member would redirect me to the ATS tool where I have to fill
Right.
all the details that are required. I want
That's right.
experience in Kubernetes, experience in Terraform, and this
Right.
ATS would take this requisition and post it to Naukri, LinkedIn. Can I assume?
No. In this
Okay.
particular process, the recruiter will be involved.
Okay.
When the requisition is created, this particular backend transactions will be taken care by the recruiter in
Got
terms of where to post, what to post. Example,
Makes
there
sense.
will be some requirements which has to be posted only internally. You call it as, you name it as IJP, right? Internal job postings.
Yes.
So the hiring manager can create a requisition as an IJP. The
Got it.
hiring manager can create requisition for the external world, and the hiring manager can create a campus placements as well. So
Makes
it is a
sense.
combination of multiple things. And the beauty of this application tracking system is you can also integrate a VMS, basically vendor management system. That's also a tool. If I'm working with a third party company where they are actually helping us with resumes, they don't need to send the resumes to me. They can
Okay.
directly post the resumes there. And from there, the recruiter will completely manage the candidate. And then
Got
if
it.
the candidate is shortlisted, they'll inform the vendor, the partner who is helping us to give the profiles, and then that's how the transaction is taken care.
Makes sense. This is even interesting for me because I completely don't understand this entire process. So can I assume it? Can I assume it as now going back to the same scenario? I am the
Yes.
I'm the team lead. I posted it in ATS.
Yes.
Now one of your
Yes.
team members decides to post it on LinkedIn, right?
That's right.
Now,
Yes.
let's say there is a person called XYZ, and
Yes.
XYZ feels that, okay, I am the right person to apply for this job. So he goes
Right.
through that LinkedIn job posting, applies for the job, right?
Yeah.
Uploads his resume. So now
Right.
can I assume this resume that is uploaded with all the information that he filled goes to the ATS first? Can I assume that?
That's right. It only goes to the ATS. It doesn't go to the recruiter. But the
Okay.
beauty of this particular ATS is it will only go and sit in that particular requisition which he or she applied. And then the recruiter can see the source of that. If I'm applying from LinkedIn, I know this comes from LinkedIn. I have a feature to
Okay.
see that, okay, this resume is being uploaded through LinkedIn. This resume is being uploaded through careers. This resume is uploaded through referral. So every resume I click, I see all these features in that particular requisition.
Awesome.
towards that particular candidate.
So does this ATS also makes your recruiter life easy? For example, if 1,000 people are applying for that position, let's say,
Yes.
so
Yes.
will ATS say that, okay, 500 of these profiles are scrap. You should only look at the 500 other profile. Does that happen?
Good question. I'll tell you what this particular tool does is there are some tools which does that job also. In fact,
Okay.
I would not say that this is a threat for the recruiters, but yes, partly this is also a threat for recruiters because there are
Okay.
some advanced application tracking tools
Hmm.
which I was talking about, that AI thing, right?
AI thing. Yeah.
That would also complete the segregation of the resumes if
Okay.
we don't apply. Example, there is a Java requirement and I am a .NET developer. If I apply for a Java developer, right, that will actually remove that particular resume. But
Got it.
what it does is it doesn't remove from the system, but it says doesn't match. I mean,
Okay.
the recruiter can
Hmm.
see the feature as doesn't match the requirement because the skill sets doesn't matter. So when the recruiter is creating a requisition, certain questionnaires and certain requirements were updated in the requisition which we are filling in, right? So
Makes
when the
sense.
requisition number is going out, it gives you a complete information of the requirement.
Hmm.
So when as a candidate, if I apply to that particular requisition, 90% the tool will take care of the proper detailed information, but the
Okay.
recruiter have to talk to everybody if they are matching. And then the other advantage this particular tool has is the moment I speak to any candidate, right, I can straight away click one button and the feedback will go to the candidate.
Makes
Thank you
sense.
for applying. You are shortlisted. You are not
Okay.
shortlisted.
That email that we
Your
see.
profile is
Okay.
kept on hold. Yes,
Hmm.
that's right. Yeah.
So what you are
So
trying to say is the advanced ATS tools are capable of segregating the resumes, but the most common
yes,
ones that we have today in the market, they don't do that, right?
they don't do it, but then in that case, the recruiters will hold the responsibility
Yes,
of reviewing each and every profile and changing the status. And the previous question you
makes sense.
asked, does this help the recruiter,
Hmm.
or does this help the recruiter make the recruiter's life easy? Yes, to certain extent,
Hmm.
because that gives up a structured way of looking at a resume, and
Hmm.
only the interested people will apply for a job. When we call as
Makes
a
sense.
recruiter, right, what happens is we just log into the portal Naukri and then start calling everybody and say,
Yeah.
are you interested? Then it becomes a call center job. But
Hmm.
when you apply for a ATS tool, that means you're already halfway through of showing your interest for that opportunity,
Makes sense. Totally agree.
right?
Yeah.
So that will help the recruiter to half clear, because
Hmm.
whenever I'm picking a call, I know that the candidate is interested because that is why he applied for the job,
Makes sense. So that's
right?
where ATS
So
plays the major role, where you
exactly.
are not finding the candidates, but candidates are finding you, right?
Finding you, partly yes, partly yes,
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 makes
definitely.
sense. And now I'll come back to that section where you said, ATS, most of the ATS tools does not filter out the candidates. I'll come back to that section. But
Sure,
one thing that I mean, I'm very curious to understand is
sure.
how many companies use ATS actually? Like if you take on a scale of 10 companies, right? Pick
Yeah,
up some MNCs, startups, mid-scale companies. Out of these
yeah.
10, how many companies actually use ATS?
So your question is a very tricky question, Avi. I'll tell you why
Okay.
I'm saying this is tricky.
Hmm.
Because right now, most of the organizations which are matured, I would use the word called matured because only a matured organization would like to automate most of the processes so that their work can be more effective,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So,
Hmm.
but to be honest, my answer to this question is most of the large organizations, any organization who is having not less than 500 employees, or
Hmm.
at any point of time, if their requirements are minimum to 100 to 200, not less than 100 to 200 over a year, it is always good that they use ATS. And yes, right now there are a lot of cost effective ATS tools which have come to the market,
Okay.
and then now most of the organizations are going towards it, and then over a period of time this ATS will become one of the key factors for the recruitment industry.
Makes sense.
So I would say at this point of time, when you said like mid-level, tier one, and startups, right?
Yes, yes,
Maybe the startups may not use the ATS tools as effectively because their requirements will be limited.
yes.
But again, even startups, if they are matured organizations and want to really add value or grow very exponentially, they will definitely go and take an ATS tool, because handling a candidate will be very easy if they have an ATS. And the beauty of this ATS is it also does a lot of branding to the organization, because if I am reaching
Okay.
out to the it from as an organization, right? Obviously, I will not join a company which is not being very professional, which is not being managed very professionally, right? So
Yes.
these factors will definitely make me think to join that organization.
Okay.
So in that sense,
Makes sense.
most of the organizations are trying to implement ATS tool, application tracking tool. So that's why I said it's tricky, because you
Yeah.
can't define who is using or who is going to use the ATS tool. If there are not many requirements, or like in a year, if they're hardly having 50, 60 requirements, to be honest, I genuinely say that you don't need to use ATS
Got
unless
it.
they are extremely critical. And for each requirement, you're going to submit 70, 100 profiles. Then maybe they have to use the ATS tool.
Got it.
I hope I answered.
So, yeah, completely. So let's shift the gears a little bit. We have been talking about
Sure.
ATS. There are a bunch of other questions as well. If we switch the gears,
Sure.
again, one question that people are asking is, if you look at the market these days, right? Why is everybody looking at experienced candidates, right? At least 2 years, 3 years. And as a fresher, I know I'm not talking about any particular stream, although many of our subscribers are from DevOps and cloud, but it's common across all the streams. If you look at a fresher these days, whether Java, development, anything, there are less opportunities, and recruiters are most interested in 4 years, 5 years, 2, 3 years candidates. Why is it?
Okay, so to answer this question, right, go back to 2021 and 22, Abhi. So again, if you look at the statistics of last 21 and 22, right, every large organization have hired lakhs of IT people.
Yes, agree. During COVID.
So what happened? Yes, during COVID, they hired lakhs of people. And then what happened is, because of that particular thing, there was enough people who are already hired for different projects. And unfortunately, the other part which has affected is the recession, because of multiple economical conditions of the world, and the wars. A lot of things have been really impacted. And then right now, everywhere in the world, there is a recession going on. Right? So if you look at companies like TCS, Wipros of the world, right, all the tier one companies have reduced their Infosys, have reduced their freshers hiring. In fact, I'm sorry to say, in the current market, there are a lot of offers being also revoked from the colleges, right?
Unfortunate.
So and unfortunate, very unfortunate. But do you think if this is going to continue like that? No. It is just a period of time. It's just a period of time. Now the impact will come for someone. You said the so-called 4 years, 5 years guys, right? These guys will get impacted, because now the organizations will look at cost cutting. So who is the better alternative for the cost cutting? Is this layer of like 0 to 4 years, right? Because they have seen the industry. So now what they do is they focus on people where the salaries are more, because obviously the organizations have to cut down the cost. So they have to rely on low cost resources, and then always look at these guys to get elevated to the next level, because your growth aspect has to be taken care by the organization. If you are consistently staying at the same role for a couple of years, you're redundant, right? This is exactly what the organizations will take care. So they will actually have to elevate them. And obviously this 4 years, 8 years experiences, unfortunately the market has spoiled, every company has spoiled the market by giving too much of hikes. I don't know if you
salaries.
If you heard about the last 2-3 years trend, right? They've been offering 200%, 300% hikes on their current salaries. When in the COVID times, right? In the COVID times, they've been doing all these things. Because of that effect, now this current team of people who are coming out
Got
from
it.
the colleges, or people who are looking out for opportunities are struggling. But this is not going to be there for long, and I'm hoping that again this particular situation will slowly settle, and then hopefully by second quarter of next year or third quarter of next year things will start coming back again.
Okay. So
So this
probably
mid-level hiring will start for sure.
at least the next batch that is coming out, they might not see these kind of issues, right?
That's right.
Okay.
I agree with you. Yes.
Okay. And one more thing, Ravindra, because you are also the recruitment head, which you deal with
Yes.
different streams, right? You
Yeah.
sometimes might be working with one of the recruiters in your team who is
Yes.
recruiting for DevOps. Someone might be recruiting
Yeah.
for data engineering, testing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one tricky question again to you is,
Yeah.
which stream do you think currently is trending?
Okay. So everybody knows about it, and then these are some interesting terms called artificial intelligence, ATS, and then the beauty DevOps, because now every project we are doing in the industry is agile, right?
Hmm.
Agile. Everywhere the customers are pretty in demanding that they want the releases shorter. I don't
Yes.
know. I'm talking about 10 years back, 15 years back. Most of the projects are in waterfall. So what
Hmm.
happens is every large customers used to give us a time of 1 year to complete a project.
Yes.
But today, with this agile methodology coming into the place, you are seeing a release in a month. Every
Yeah.
month you are going to see a releases. That means
I was
this
talking
is
about
the
this.
most
I was talking about this
uh,
this thing in one of my seminars where I said
yeah,
previously the releases used to be with the year names like Windows
that's right.
95, Windows 98.
Yes,
That means they used to have
correct,
releases per year. Now, if you look at
correct.
the fast applications like Swiggy or Zomato, like they release once
Yeah,
in couple of weeks.
weeks. Correct. So the market is moving. There's a lot of automation going on. A lot of cloud is coming into the market because now everything is user based. I mean,
Hmm.
even the customers are also asking. Earlier, I don't know, most of you are aware of that SAP ERP concept, right?
Yeah.
ERP is a huge package, and then it is a costly package, and
Hmm.
it'll take a lot of time. I have to take so many modules if I
Hmm.
wanted to use only one module. But today the trend has completely changed with this SaaS
Yes.
model, PaaS model, EASE model. All I have to do is I have to take what I want and then pay per loose user.
Yes.
So now when the entire organizations and then the industry is transforming to this particular area, right? What happens? DevOps, data science, right, and cloud. These are the guys who are going to be the game changers.
Got it.
Your automation, your UiPath, the bank. There is
Mainframes.
Bitcoin,
Yeah. Okay.
mainframes,
Yeah.
Bitcoin. These things, all these
Blockchain.
things. Blockchain technologies. This blockchain, all these technologies are the most trending, and of course, I would also wanted to add mobile technologies as well, because iOS and Android are also playing a very crucial role, because every product which is being
Got it.
released, the first question asked by the by the customer is, does this support mobile,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so these are few technologies which is going to be there for next couple of years. I think at least for next
Cool.
10 years I definitely see a strong growth in DevOps, and data science, cloud, blockchain,
Hmm.
everything.
So these are the budding streams, or these are the streams that are in boom, and many
Yeah,
people want to enter these streams, which is quite common.
right,
Like,
right,
wherever the market is
right.
trending, people want to get into those streams. Now,
That's right.
one area where people usually ask me is because of some reasons, probably they might be looking for government opportunities, or they try
Hmm.
to look for outside IT industry, and now they want to enter the IT stream, and definitely they
Yeah.
have career gap, but these are people who have actually learned the technology. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say there
Okay.
is a person who has actually learned the technology, done some projects by himself, but has a career gap. Now, how should they actually approach? Because for recruiters, I
Mhm.
think career gap is a big no. This is
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
assumption. You might correct me. So if such person approach you, what would be your
Yeah.
suggestion?
Yeah, as you rightly said, companies will be little hesitant to take them. But again, I don't agree with you that people are not getting jobs who have taken gaps.
Okay. Okay.
Only people who have a conviction of getting into a job and learning the right technologies and doing proper practice. I don't know, while you are also from Hyderabad, I know I'm from Hyderabad, right? We see a lot of institutions playing a crucial role. Amirpet, right? This is the hub of any technology in the world.
Yeah.
If one technology which has to be taught or learned, that is in Amirpet. So when people go there, right, they just learn things practically. Sorry, theoretically, but they don't learn things practically.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest setback. In fact, today, when I go and sit in a college and then try to do this campus recruitment, right, I always give them very, very basic codes like Fibonacci series and then even numbers, prime numbers, all these things, right? They really struggle to write the code.
So you mean practical knowledge is very important?
Absolutely, because if you are practically right, you can even crack. Off late, every company is doing a lot of hackathons.
Yes.
If people are so interested, right, why don't you go and try that hackathons and prove yourself in giving rice code? Obviously, you'll be chosen. If you're
Makes
always going on that orthodox style of learning a technology theoretically and then trying to do small labs, no, that doesn't help you to get into a job, but that would
Makes sense.
always let you to, demotivate yourself that you're not getting a job. No, that's not the way. You are
Totally
capable.
agree.
Everybody are capable to do the jobs, but the way they are approaching is wrong. They have to change the approach towards their passion, their interest. Why do they wanted to get an IT job? Is it because of salary? They should understand. If it is just because of salary, trust me, IT job will not hold them for long.
Okay.
Because every day, and especially Abhi, like you, who was a technology geek, you understand how much efforts you are supposed to put
Yes.
to upgrade your technologies. It's a continuous learning process. Today version 1, tomorrow version 2, tomorrow, day after tomorrow
Yeah.
version 3. A lot of features will be added. If you are not up to date in terms of these features, you will not be chosen. Obviously, you will not be chosen, right? If I am an organization, I would always want the best to join my team. That is why I pay salaries. Correct.
So basically, it's about not just try to focus on the theoretical part, do the practical. Even
Yes.
I keep saying that, all my YouTube thing is only focused on the practical. First, I tell people to understand the fundamentals, build the theory knowledge, but don't stop there. Do some practicals.
That's right.
Do build some projects, and probably you can justify your career gap saying that, okay, I have career gap, but I've done this projects or I have done this hackathons if you're in a different stream, and show that to the recruiter.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. And the other important thing I always tell to this young generation, right? When you are trying to make your career, my request is don't look for salary immediately. For next couple of years, there might be an organization which will give you wonderful work but pay less. Don't worry, join them, because over a period of time you will go there, because the kind of technology or the learning what you take, right, that will take you there without your knowledge.
Agree.
So I really want everybody to, especially freshers, to don't run back of money when you're starting your career. Run back of technology, run back of innovation, run back of learning. This will take you faster than your friend, maybe your friend, your brother, your colleague, who can be anybody. But trust me, you will be successful when you don't run back of money but the learning for the first couple of years.
Also, Ravindra, while we are talking about this building projects, like as a fresher or as a career gap, and also experienced people, resume is very critical, right? Because and as a recruiter, you might receive thousands of resumes, right?
Yeah.
One thing I want to understand is, do you actually look at the attractiveness of the resume? How attractive is it? Or do you look for some keywords, certain keywords that are like, let's say I'll try to fake, okay? Let's say I'm a engineer and I don't have knowledge, but I'll try to fake by just adding those keywords on my resume, use an attractive resume and send it out to you. How does it actually work? Like, will ATS help you to remove that, or recruiters these days are capable enough in identifying fake resumes? I want to hear from you.
Okay, so one point I would like to highlight here, Abhi, we definitely don't get bowled over by the resumes. Partially, yes, because certain times when we look at a resume, right, we can sense the candidate because we keep seeing the same. Okay, I'll give an example. If you read Bhagavad Gita every day, right, what happens over a period of time? You know what page, how does it look, etc. Right? Same with us also. We keep seeing the same technology for 1,000 times, right? We know what skills comes. Example, Java. In Java, what is the integration tool, web services, and what is a framework, Spring, right? Similarly, in DevOps, what is CI/CD, what is continuous integration, what is continuous deployment. So we keep churning out and we keep seeing all these skills day in and day out because we are technical recruiters. We are not recruiters. So me being a technical recruiter, my major area is to understand whether that person who the applicant has really had the technology or have the technology what we're looking. So my suggestion to all the people out there is don't try to show your resume flashy, but try to show your resume which has what you've done. Example, they write a big summary of 20 lines, 30 lines in the summary, the professional summary, and then they don't write anything in the projects.
Got it.
Right? They talk about a project and then they write about the description. They say code review, testing, and maintenance. That's it. That's exactly what they write. I would rather say focus on your roles and responsibilities and reduce your professional summary.
Okay.
Because my interest is, if I'm hiring you or
what
anybody,
you have done.
I would look at the project you have done. It is not about what summary you have written.
Got it.
So your profile also always has to be as crisp as possible, but as brief it can be. It should be a 2-page, 3-page resume. Your resume should not
more than
exceed
that.
beyond 2-3 pages, especially for experienced people. Freshers, right? I am least bothered whether you. My interest is only your primary skills and the projects what you have done, and if you have any certifications in the technologies you are getting into, and of course, end of the day, I look at your passions or your interests. Right? This is how I look at a resume, fresher resume. But if you're writing a lot of other things, right, those are of no use, and I don't waste time seeing all these things. Not just me, any recruiter industry doesn't look at the additional stuff what you've done. They would only focus on the projects you have done or the technology you're interested or the certifications you have done. Only these matters for the recruiter.
Got it. Again, there is one question that got most number of likes when I posted is, okay, now I genuinely learned practically. I have a career gap because of some reasons and I genuinely practice something and I build that skill. Now, what this person says is, as soon as some recruiter calls him or calls her, they immediately put the phone down when they say that, I have a 2 years career gap or 3 years career gap. So how do they actually justify that, saying that, okay, can you please let me explain, or how do they actually do that?
Okay. So especially when they have a gap of this 2 years or this 2 years or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I would always say that you should get an opportunity to explain about it. If you put everything in the profile, generally the recruiters will not be looking at, because I'll tell you why I'm saying you this. I have hundreds of resumes to look at.
Yeah.
Because the skill set is definitely not a huge skill set. Example, DevOps. Today, the moment I post a DevOps profile, right, I see at least 60 to 70 resumes in my inbox. Obviously, what will be my intention? My intention is always to hire the right candidate, correct?
Yes.
So I already have a checks and balances, and then I am in upper hand to choose the right one. In this process, what happens is I may not give, or I may not look at the profile which has gap, but I'm not going to write off. So you should always, when you have a gap of 2 years, right, the resume what you're going to keep has to be more focused on the technology innovation what you have done, the certifications what you have done, and you need to have a justification for those 2 years.
In the resume itself,
right?
I need to
in
put
the resume itself.
Okay.
Or the other way around is, don't put anything in the resume, but try to fade that gap.
Okay.
The way you have to fade that gap is highlight what you have done the best on the top, and then leave about the gaps of your after education. If it is the gap is after education, then it could be preparing for major entrances or anything, right?
Okay. Basically, you have to be honest. You have to be honest. Okay.
Absolutely. But the gap is in the middle of
Career.
your experiences, right? Then there should be a proper reason why the gap is. It's better you write down there. No problem. No harm in
Okay.
writing the reason there.
Okay.
Example, if
Basically,
I have
recruiters understand that. If I put it
end of
well.
the day, we are humans, right?
Yeah.
Recruiters still work on emotions. We are
Mhm.
not tools, or we are not things, machines to reject a profile by just seeing a gap. No, we
Mm.
understand. That is where we add value as a recruiter. Maybe one
Mm.
recruiter may not add well because of the peer pressure or because of the pressure from the organization, but
Mm.
there are people, there are industries, or there are organizations who definitely respect people who have gaps. Of late, if you see LinkedIn, right, a lot of people are writing about this particular instance which we are talking, right? They
Yes.
have
Yes.
gaps and they're still getting jobs. So
Jobs.
there are people outside. All we have to do is keep your eyes and ears wide open and try
Mm.
to apply for the right place where there is a window for you to apply. But in the resume standpoint, you always have to be genuine. There is a gap in between of your employments.
Mm.
If it is above, just highlight what is that you did on those 2 years. It could be certification, it could be entrance preparation, it could be anything, right? But you have to be
Got it.
open with them.
I I want to add 2 points here, which I keep saying to
Yeah.
people. Whoever
Yeah.
comes to me with career gap, I say them two things. One
Yeah.
is, see, you are starting from -1. Right? People
Yeah.
who don't have
Yeah.
career gap, they are already at step 0 or step 1. So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you need to do is you have to be little more patient than others. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
one thing that I say them. And the second
Yeah.
point that I tell these people who have career gap is keep yourself away from negative people. Again,
Sure.
why do I say this to keep away from
Sure.
negative people? Is because, a lot of times when you have career gap, some person would come to you and say that try out for some fake experience, right? Go to a consultancy, they would give you a fake experience, manage the
Yeah. Yeah.
PF. I mean, it's all a headache. I think you are messing it up more
Absolutely.
than where you are.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I personally feel, Abhi, you're right, because they might get a job, but will they really survive? Very,
Hmm.
very few percent of those people will survive. They get in the job and then they work for a year, and immediately, again, here the technology will change the entire process of
Yes.
identifying a fake candidate. And when every organization is asking for a background verification now. In this
Yes.
background verification, when they look at your Form 16, you're done. We can't definitely fake the government documents, right? Of course, even beyond that, there is a lot of jugaad going in the industry of creating that Form 16s, fake Form
Yes.
16s. But somewhere
Exactly.
or other, this will impact you in your future. You might lose a wonderful on-site opportunity, because in on-site they do very
Hmm.
thorough. Your visa processing might get impacted.
Okay.
So
Okay.
try to be as careful as possible, in terms of applying for a fake resumes. Please, my sincere suggestion is, I know it might be bleeding you, but please don't take that route of applying, or applying jobs with fake experiences, because maybe 15 years back people would have got it, but
Hmm.
today there are a lot of checks and balances which are taken care by the organizations on
Agree.
having access to all the Form 16s of every person, the PF account number. Because if you need UAN number, is one UAN number which will define and tell you the entire history of your professional career,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
If you're working in 7 years, with one UN number, I can see all your entire history of your uh, your
7
PF
years.
account.
Yeah.
Because now every company, whenever you're applying for a job, if you are getting a salary, there is a PF account
Yes.
which is given to you. If not PF account, they'll ask for a UN number. So
Hmm.
all these things are changing the rules in the industry, and the fake
Hmm.
experience will slowly fade away. And people who have kept fake experiences, they will not be able to survive, or they may lose wonderful opportunities.
Okay.
If they have to go to on site. And these are the first people who will get impacted if there is a recession, again, I'm telling you guys.
I've seen that.
Because
I've
they
seen that.
need
Yes.
people.
Hmm.
If they have to let go people, they need to find reasons.
Hmm.
Maybe then you are required for them. But when in recession, you don't organizations don't need people who have kept fake. They will take a
Yeah.
call. You submitted fake documents and you'll be asked to leave, right? So please be
Yeah.
careful when you're dealing with this kind of people. Don't get into peer pressure, or don't get influenced by your surroundings of getting fake certificates for anything. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So one final question before we conclude
Sure.
this is going back to the ATS part where I said I'll come back to it, right? So
Sure.
one final thing is, so what I understood from the conversation, because I did not have a lot of knowledge on ATS before, is that
Yeah.
ATS, the majority of the ones, if we ignore the advanced ones, they are capable of filling, taking the information from the technical
Right.
leads, and they will
Right.
help recruiters in storing these
Yes.
resumes in the databases. Like,
Right.
are there anything that is called as ATS friendly resume? Is there anything like that?
Yes.
Or okay. Hmm.
It's just a terminology, Abhi, because whenever you're talking about the ATS friendly resumes, right? So I'll give you an example. When you go to a bank,
Hmm.
you will have to fill so much of information.
Yes.
Do you think it's friendly? At times we feel,
Hmm.
because we'll be in a hurry to get out of that place and then try to do some alternatives, but just because additional bank is important for us, we have to do this.
Hmm.
But this ATS tools, what they do is, example, there's a feature called parsing.
Okay.
Right, when you parse your resume, you don't need to fill any of this information. All the
Okay.
information will be taken care by the tool, and the blocks will be automatically filled. You can parse
Okay.
your LinkedIn resume to ATS, you can parse your resume to ATS, right? There are a
Okay.
lot of features which this ATS comes with and helps you to reduce your time in typing every question,
Okay.
every information which were asked for. And the second user friendly ATS tools will also, I mean, this is especially in the advanced technologies, right? What they
Hmm.
do is they send you a questionnaire, or they are in live questionnaires where you just fill those information or talk, right? You will be
Hmm. Hmm.
selected, you will be rejected, everything will be done there itself.
Okay. Got it.
So that way there is no the recruiter can't show any um, partiality
Hmm.
in terms of identifying a resume, or taking some other resume who is not as capable as I am, or these particular features would help the candidates. Or so these are called friendly ATS tools, right?
Makes
These
sense. So
particular
majorly,
help them to, yeah, will help them to make it more efficient. The sourcing, the shortlisting of every candidate. If I deserve,
hmm.
I can be a deserving candidate if I apply through ATS, which has better features like this.
Okay. So basically, it will take my resume, parse all the information from my resume, and fill it in the company website or wherever it is. Fill it in the
Yeah,
recruitment portal.
in the tool,
Yeah,
itself.
in the tool
In the
itself.
tool
Okay.
itself. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ravindra, for joining with me on this podcast. And I'm very sure people will find it useful. Personally, I came to know about a lot of things which I did not. So a lot of my subscribers might, gain a lot of insight from this particular podcast. So again,
Yeah.
thanks for taking your time out and being here.
Thank you very much, Abhi. This is quite. See, I keep talking about a lot of these things in a lot of universities when I
Hmm.
go for talks, and then
Yes,
it's very very important that people has to change the perception, especially this generation
exactly.
has to change the perception of looking at a job or looking at a technology. And I'm very happy that this generation has more maturity than the old generation. That is why I think the offers itself are talking, right? Why do
Yes.
you think that people are giving 1 crore 2 crores of salaries for freshers? Because this generation has that potential. This generation
Hmm.
has that entrepreneurial mindset. These things are driving factors for this generation. So keep up the confidence. And then for everything, right, first of all, you need to have the conviction, you need to have the passion, you
Yes.
need to have the hard work. These three things will take anybody to the goal what they wanted to meet. And thanks to you, Abhi, it's a wonderful opportunity for me as well. I would always love to talk in this forums. I mean, because this
Yeah.
is not just about learning which I'm giving, but it's also learning what I am taking, the kind of questions what they're coming, right? These are the questions which will always help me to go back and try to understand if I can do something in this particular area. If I can make my process better, because this is a
Yeah.
user experience. So I'm
Usually
taking
it's
the
very
user experience.
difficult.
So yeah, yeah.
Usually it's very difficult
So
to get recruiters who speak about these things, but you have been very open
yeah.
today. Yeah.
No, thank you, Abhi. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and have a good day. Thank
You
you
too.
all.
Bye. Bye. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.